Hello, hello, another day, another recording. Today I'm going to give a follow up on what I discussed yesterday. So, yesterday I talked about how I had an issue with my daughter in school. And the issue wasn't so much about a combination of what she did and my reaction to it. So, she's a child, she's 4 years old. And we went to school and she found herself in a situation whereby she reacted in a way that really annoyed me. Not just as a father, but as a human being. I left her school feeling both frustrated, disappointed, and also a bit embarrassed. And this left me feeling very moody, right? So I spent quite a lot of the following hours replaying the experience in my head over and over again. So I discussed this in my YouTube yesterday, on this channel yesterday. And I'm glad. This is one of those things whereby going back to air that you need people to talk to. So after posting this online and people watching this, my parents who also watched this got back to me. So they sent me a message, both my father and my mother. They sent me two different messages telling the same thing. And the thing was, Oscar, don't be too concerned with what happened. Don't overthink what happened. She's a 4-year-old. What she's doing now are the same things that you did when you were her age. So don't let it bother you too much. She's figuring herself out. She's developing a personality. And this is part of that journey. The importance of community. Now imagine if I didn't post this on YouTube. Imagine if no one watched this. Imagine if, even if there was no YouTube, I didn't discuss this with anyone. Now I would be there with myself, thinking over and over again how my 4-year-old daughter is a bad girl, And people do that, right? People do. It's very easy. I imagine most of the people watching this don't have children of their own, right? And most people without children, who don't spend a lot of time with children, have this idea that children are angels. Like they're perfect beings, they're God's gift to the earth. And they are, yes, they are. But not every experience with a child is a divine experience. A child throws tantrums, a child gets frustrated, a child cries, a child gets angry. And all of these things, it's like, imagine yourself at your worst emotional state as an adult. Like even I know when I get really bad, it's obvious to people around me, but I'm holding most of it in, right? I'm not lashing out at people around me. I'm holding most of it in because if I lash out, people might call me crazy. People might call the police. But if I was 2, 3, 4 and I lash out, people just call that a tantrum. So imagine you being angry, being sad, and not holding anything back. And you can't imagine yourself. Imagine a grown-up that you've seen doing that before. It was terrifying, wasn't it? It was a really bad experience, right? Now, that's what children do quite a lot because they're figuring out how to control their emotions. So children are not angels. In fact, you find that children express the basis of human emotions. They express human emotion to its fullest, and that goes on both ends of the spectrum, the good and the bad. When your child is angry, you don't want to be around the kid. When your child is loving, you don't want to walk away. And so I do say that you have to understand. Well, I do have to understand because it's something that I'm learning over and over again as a parent. Every day, being a father is failing and learning and trying to be better the next day. And it's hard because I'm a human being and my ego plays a big part in most of what I do. I was so frustrated and disappointed in my daughter yesterday. I lacked patience with her. I let my ego get the better of me instead of trying to understand her situation, understand that, well, she is just a child. I asked, why is she doing this to me? And going back to AA and Alcoholics Anonymous, we do say in AA that you are not an alcoholic simply because you drank alcohol. You were an alcoholic because you used alcohol as a result to all the problems in your life, as a solution for all the problems in your life. So I'm sad, I drink. I'm happy, I drink. I'm angry, I drink. I'm lonely, I drink. Right? But what is making you believe that alcohol is a solution? It's that what in AA we call an alcoholic mind. And this is what the program tries to get you to understand, that you have an alcoholic mind and we have to get rid of that alcoholic mind together. Now, as I have said in the past, everyone has their own version of alcoholism, right? And so everyone, in turn, has their own version of an alcoholic mind. And the alcoholic mind came back to me yesterday when I was dealing with my child, right? The alcoholic mind says, this child is doing something to me. Instead of me considering, hey, she's just figuring things out. She doesn't quite understand what's going on. She doesn't know how to control her emotions yet. I'm the grown-up here. Unfortunately, or fortunately, everything she gets wrong is mostly on me. As her father, she can even argue that everything is on me. And it's hard to admit this. It's hard to accept this. But I made the choice. I chose to have children. And having children means that you take the bulk of the responsibility. Everything is on you. The good and the bad. Yes, not just the bad, the good too. So if your child does good in school, that's also on you. You must have done something right. Even if it's just taking her to a good school. Even if it was just helping her with homework. You did something right. Even if it's just a little encouragement you give them when they try that new thing. And the bad too. When they don't want to take a bath, when they don't want to eat their dinner, when they don't go to bed, when you're fighting together to brush their teeth, you have to take all of that and accept it, that this is your lot in life. But to the young men out there, let me tell you this. You want to learn how to be a good father? Start taking responsibility for things in your own life. There's a man called Jocko Willink. Jocko Willink. Go and find him on YouTube. And Jocko Willink is a former Navy SEAL. And he's now a public speaker, a motivational speaker, And he discusses about responsibility and discipline. And he has a book called Extreme Ownership. I have not read the book, but my friend has read the book and he says nothing but good things about it. And the gist of what I understood from what my friend told me is that basically Jocko Willink suggests that you must be willing to take responsibility for everything in your life. If you are a part of it, it is 100% on you. Think about that. If you're dating someone, and if your girlfriend cheats on you, it's 100% because of you. If she's loving and kind, it is 100% on you. If you fail to get that job you wanted, it is 100% on you. If you got it, it is 100% on you. If you're overweight, it is 100% on you. If you're fit, it is 100% on you. Take full responsibility for everything in your life. And even just the thought of this, as I'm speaking this out, I realize how radical this is. You're telling me everything is my fault? Everything in my life is my fault. What about how I was raised, right? What about the kids who bullied me in school? Is all of that my fault? What about my height? Is that my fault too? What about, the gap in my teeth? Is that my fault too? This goes back to the serenity prayer. God, grant me the strength to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Do you know the difference? Do you have the courage to change the things you can? I might not be able to change my height. Well, someone might say, well, Oscar, there's a surgery, you can lengthen your shin bone and whatnot, but no, I don't want to do that. But, like, things within reason, right? I can't do much about my teeth. Well, once again, an argument is out there, hey, Oscar, you can just go and get, what do they call the fake teeth or whatever it is. But that's not the point. The things I can affect. If I feel like I'm overweight, I can go to the gym. If I don't like my job situation, I can fix up my resume, maybe get a certificate on something, maybe get a diploma on something, go back to school, change my career path. If I don't like how my relationship is with my wife, I can figure out what I'm doing wrong to cause this to be this way, because I'm definitely a part of this. I can't say it's all my wife's fault. I'm playing a part too. And where am I going wrong? Let me do everything that I can do right first before I say, hey, wife, you're not playing your part right. Extreme ownership. Extreme is a very controversial word nowadays. Someone is a bit too religious and they call them an extremist. Someone joins a group that's aimed at changing their life for the better and they call them a cult. They call it a cult. It's like extreme. What does extreme mean? I call it a cult, and I say this jokingly and also a bit serious, but I do believe A is a cult. And why do I say AA is a cult? I say it's a cult because you go into AA and you're asked to stop being like everyone else. You can't drink like everyone else. You can't, on Saturdays when everyone is going out to drink and have parties, the one day of the week where you can get drunk and it's encouraged. You don't get to do that. You can, but you shouldn't, right? You go to a place and listen to other people who are self-proclaimed drunks talk about why quitting alcohol is good, right? And they're not drinking, and you're not drinking. And on this Saturday night, you're going to help each other stay sober. Extreme. Taking extreme ownership of their lives. Extreme. The middle path doesn't work if you want to be a righteous man. There is no middle path. The middle path is for the normal people. People who seem to be sane. The modern definition of sane. And quite a lot of what is modern isn't sane if you peel back the layers of the onion. There is nothing sane about the things we eat, the things we watch, the way we talk, the fact that most people in the developed world are lonely. There is nothing sane about this. The fact that having children is now something you have to consider in terms of finances before considering the honor that God is about to bestow on you. There is nothing sane about topics like, getting rid of an infant before it comes to term because, well, I wasn't ready to have a child. There is nothing sane about any of this. To be extreme seems like the only way forward, I go to church every Sunday and sometimes I have to tell friends I can't meet you, I can't come to your kid's birthday party because I'm taking my family to church. And it's a bit confusing for them. Hey, it's a birthday for the kids, let your kid come and play. But no. As far as I'm concerned, this is the one day of the week that I get to give it all to God. One day a week. I'm sorry that I can't come to your kid's birthday, but this is the time that me and my family are committing to God. And of course, my kids don't understand that. My wife isn't even a Christian, but we're doing this as a family. because I have decided it's going to be as such. Extreme, how extreme it is that the man in the household is making decisions. How extreme. So young men, I do say, I have lived a very treacherous life. And what I've learned is that to try and be sane, to be normal, to follow the middle path, leads you down dark roads. There is no middle path for you. Pick any man you admire out in the world. Any single man you admire out in the world, and tell me if that person is walking the middle path. He is most likely not. He is most likely an extreme individual. As a Christian, the story of Christ is an extreme story. There's no middle path in the life of Christ. There's no middle path in the life of Job. No middle path in the life of Joseph. No middle path in the life of St. Paul. There is no middle path to everyone we admire. The people that follow the middle path, do you know what we call them nowadays? NPC. Non-player characters. Does that look like you? I sure as hell hope it isn't me. Goodbye.